Okay. So this is not the most ideal way of having a voice lesson. Actually, it's not a very preferred way for me to conduct a voice lesson. It's sort of you really don't get to hear the person's voice live, and when you don't hear it live, there's just something missing. There's frequencies and there's little subtleties about the voice that you just don't get, and of course, then there's also the digital. You lose sometimes the sound. I've taught lessons where the sound like blocks out, and
Oh yeah.
they'll be in the middle of singing a run, and you won't hear part of it, and it's just not the most ideal way to doing it. So I guess in the days of COVID, this is what we have to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up right now because it says to usually, when it comes to that, to turn on the original sound or turn it off. I don't remember what it is, if it's turning it on or turning it on off.
Right.
But like that, I literally did my last year of my musical theater degree on Zoom, so
Okay. Yeah, it's
it
just
was
not ideal. But so you've been taking voice lessons for how many years?
I was classically trained in opera when I was a kid. My mom's an opera singer, so I've been doing it since sixth,
So
seventh grade.
long time.
Yeah, a
Okay.
really long time. I took a break because of COVID and college and everything. They mandated lessons freshman to first semester senior year, and then second semester we had coachings. So I have not had a voice lesson since my, well, no, I've had a couple voice lessons, just like 30-minute, quick 30-minute sessions that are like not enough to keep me going for.
All right. Well, I understand. So and you've been accustomed to vocalises, doing vocalises. Yeah. And do
Yeah.
you do lip trills?
I'm not great at them. My teacher would always be like, just do like like that instead.
Well,
So,
that's one way of doing it, but I found lip trills to be a great asset to navigating the top of the voice.
oh, for sure. It's just like, I guess I get in my head, and when I go like, I my lips just don't buzz that well, and then I get freaked out.
I see. Okay, well, as far as doing vocalises, then it's a matter of you're sitting there now in a normal lesson. We stand.
I'm gonna stand. I like made sure that my ankle was like,
Okay, hold on a second. My glasses are really bothering me. There's something they're bent.
you're
I
fine.
don't know what the hell's wrong with them. That's better. Okay, so we're gonna go down first. I just want to hear your low end,
Yeah.
and and you're gonna grab the R. So I'm a believer in singing through consonants. So consonants are not consonants really. Consonants are a combination of vowels and something that stops the vowel. So we're singing an in the middle of an R. Just in the same way when we sing a W, there's an oo in the
Yeah.
beginning of the W. So we don't sing what, we sing work, work. So when you sing, I want everything to be stretched out like pasta. Everything's got to be stretched out,
Yeah.
like caramel. So we take words and we stretch them, and that's the way we sing them the best. So re Raimi, in
Rainy.
honor of Sam Raimi, we're gonna do Ray, the great basso. I'm a basso, so we start with Raimi. Go ahead.
Rainy.
We'll just go straight through. Raimi, and very loose, and you can slide through it. We're sort of melting through the phrase. Is that
Got it.
low? That's not low for you, is it?
No, it's good.
I want to go to your lowest, the lowest. I want to hear the bottom of the voice.
Okay.
So we're going to go down from there, and we're going to see how low you go.
All right.
Because that's the key to your top is your low notes.
Yeah.
Re, mi. And then hum the M a little when you go to the M. Me. Don't just let go of it. Luxuriate in each consonant like you're sucking on a delicious candy. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Re, mi.
Re. Go ahead.
Re, mi.
Now you're still kind of oh, that's good. So that is your bottom. That is the bottom.
Is it my bottom?
I
I
mean,
don't know.
you're bottoming out. You're trying to sing right on the bottom. It's not an easy note, right?
No.
Okay, for that's the bottom of the voice. So you're sort of herky jerkying through the exercise. You got to be very relaxed. You know, you're sort of hey, hey, hey. We're not going from note to note. You know, it's not like we're going like this. 1, 2, 3. We're sliding through it. It should be relaxed, like you're going to fall asleep, but still firm, still a delivered tone, but relaxed, firm but relaxed. Okay, go ahead. What's with the arms? What are you doing with the arms?
It's helping me mentally just like get out of my body, like out of my
That scares me.
Really?
Yeah, because when you do that, you know what happens, and I've seen it on stage, and I've seen it with opera singers. It translates to when they're actually working, and you'll see them on stage, and they'll be doing these funny things because they have idiosyncrasies and they have habits.
No, I know. It's bad. Yeah, in like class I would have to like be really still because I would do that naturally. But I've gotten out of it. It's just to kind of get me back into the flow of it.
All right. I'm just giving you the warning that
Yeah.
it's not a good thing to get used to. The maestro I used to work with at the academy used to slap our hands, like say, put that down, put your hand down, put your hand down, put your hand down. You know, he used to tell us all the time. So Pavarotti had a handkerchief.
Oh.
That was his. He used to hold that handkerchief and squeeze it and pull it and all that. You couldn't really see it. I mean, you could see the handkerchief,
Yeah.
but you couldn't see him. He would hold it, and he would, you know, when he had a high note, he would squeeze that handkerchief. So we all have our, you know, ways of venting our tension, because really half of what singing is about is having tension and learning how to not have tension.
Yeah.
So okay, so we're gonna try one more, just to see how low you can go. Re, mi. Go ahead. Yeah, now you're smiling. Now the problem is that for a tone like that, you want to hit that note, drop your jaw, and sing. Don't sing me, e like a tight E. You sing re, me. Sing me. Me. Oh, yeah, open your mouth. Just get a get the voice to vibrate down there. You can't get the voice to vibrate if you hold your mouth closed, or you smile, or you make the vowel too tight. You got to loosen the vowel. It's vowel modification. Have you ever done vowel modification?
Yeah.
You know what that is. Okay. So re, me. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would have, you know, made it defined. I would have defined the vowel a little more than that, because that was kind of amorphous. But you phonated better on the low note. You see? Okay. So learning how to sing very relaxed helps us to sing when we're tight, because we remember how it feels to sing loose, and then we apply it to when we have to sing tight. Okay, so now we're gonna go back up again. Go ahead. And you can start singing the me again, because now we're not trying to phonate on a very low note. Now we're just singing. You're starting to sing in the bottom of your mid range.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Ray.
Sorry. Re, mi. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Re, mi.
That sounds good.
Re, mi. Re, mi.
Okay.
Do you want it more in like a mix, or do you want it in a chest place?
Well, see, that's the issue. See, when you're doing the Rami exercise, I could hear that you're floating around between different voices. There's some of it was directed as sort of an operatic tone, and then there was a little bit of bright Broadway kind of a sound in it. Yeah. So I mean, I'm strictly I can teach whatever. You got to pick which voice you want to work on, you see, because working on the opera voice is a lot different than working on a pop or a jazz voice.
Yeah.
Because you got these spread wide, Hollywood, ha 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 ha, and
Yeah.
Hollywood, that's different kind of stuff. So, which voice are you working on today, Ava?
Musical theater, because that's my field.
Okay, but you see, a lot of what makes a good musical theater voice work still has to do with the same vowel modifications that we use in the opera. I think you use them even more because you have to protect the voice because you're spreading it wide. And so when you sing you sing ah, you sing AW instead of AH, you sing AW. So it sort of it's like a light bulb. And the raw tone is a light bulb without the shade on it at all. And that's something that we don't normally want to hear. Because when somebody's saying, I love you so much, like that's a totally wide open spread. But it's, I love you so much. You're putting a little bit of, so the amount of the cover is what determines whether you're singing in a full out Broadway sound or whether you're singing with an opera sound. Have you heard of Renee Fleming?
Yes.
Okay, she did a pop album.
Yes.
She did a song by Tears for Fears called Mad World.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, she, among other things. But the issue that I had was whenever she would go up on top, she would never open the voice up in a dangerous way, like a pop singer would start to sort of scream up there. And she would go up and all of a sudden she turned into an opera singer again.
Mm-hmm.
So she wouldn't take the top like a pop singer would take it. Because she's too well trained to let go of the technique. See, yeah. So I take it because of your experience, you're used to letting go of the technique and just spreading up there and going for high notes and all that. What kind of Broadway stuff do you sing?
Well, I actually I entered college as an operatic soprano and did Green Finch and Linnetberg on the first day. Okay. And it kind of looked at me and were like, you're a belter. You're an alto belt queen. And I was like, no, I had never belted before.
Okay.
So in school and now I guess I just kind of do low belt, like low rich stuff. And then I will do your higher operatic musical theater as well. Kind of a range.
Well, you can do a lot of things when you're young and you got a lot of youthful energy. See, so but what ends up happening is you do some of those things and then over the next 5 years the voice starts to get damaged and starts to blow out. See, so that's you're smart not to belt because you've only got so many belts in you. And they don't last that long if the technique is not right or you're not using the right vowel modification. So, okay, let's hear it. So we played around on the bottom a little bit, but now I've seen what your low note is. So, and you basically have the low note of like the equivalent low note of what a bass baritone would have in the male. You know, you sang a low E flat on the bottom when you went re mi. You sang in your octave. You sang low E flat, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good. But let's see on top. So we're gonna do re mi re la mi re la, and grab that R a little bit when you hit that re mi re la. Go ahead.
Mi re
No, no, no.
la.
I don't want this incremental like I want to see. That's the thing I noticed in the bottom too. So you're taking everything incrementally. I don't want incremental. We have to connect the run together. It's got to be like a one piece of spaghetti. It's not four pieces of spaghetti that are stitched together. It's one piece of spaghetti. Okay.
Yeah.
Re mi re la. Go ahead.
Mi re la.
Good. Okay, now I'm gonna just go. Okay,
Sorry.
part of the exercise is that the speed and the duration is 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. You can't stop and think. Singing is like running across hot coals. You can't just sit there. Okay, now what am I going to say? Oh, la. Okay, what am I? Me. You can't do that. You've got to just sing.
Yeah.
Go. Okay, so mi re la.
Mi re la. Mi re la. Mi re la.
I don't want me he. I don't want me he. I want me. I'm singing through it. Me re. I'm not singing me re la. I'm not asking you to use your diaphragm to give me coloratura. I'm asking you to sing through like one piece of melting chocolate, all the way through, back and forth. Mi re la. Go ahead.
Mi re la. Mi re la.
You're still going me he. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want you to sing through. I don't want you to stop the sound. I want it to be one long sound.
Okay.
Mi re ah, not ah ha 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 ha. I don't want that.
Okay. Can I do it on and off first just to feel it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and then we'll go back. Mi re la. Go ahead.
Oh.
Mi re la.
Mi re la. Sorry.
Yeah. Mi re la. Go ahead.
Mi re la. I'm doing it still.
Good.
Mi re la.
Well, do it your way. Do it your way first. Let's just get through a few of these runs.
Yeah.
Just do it.
On
Just
what?
forget it.
Oh.
No, mi re la. I'm just going to do mi re la, and we're going to do it. Don't worry about singing through. Just sing it your way. We're going to go up and down about 5 or 6 times, and then we'll try to do it the other way. Go ahead. Mi re la.
Mi re la. Mi re la. Mi re la.
Good.
Mi re la. Mi re la. Mi re la.
Good.
Mi re la. Mi re la.
One more.
Mi re la.
The problem is that now that you're getting louder and all that, the sound is blocking out, just like usual. The mic is peaking and it sucks. You know, it's like, this is just what I don't like. All the notes I really want to hear are disappearing as we're doing the exercises. Was that a high note for you?
No.
Okay, so we're going to go down to go up. We're going to go down and then we're going to go up again. Me.
Mi re la. Mi re la. Mi re la. Mi re la. Oh, now that it's high.
One more. Well, I lost it. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it anyway because it's too much for the microphone, I guess. But
Yeah.
I heard the other one. Now that high note you're saying was a B. It was a high B.
Usually I can do a C really well, but it's like I haven't been warming up my like high notes because I get in my head, literally. It's my big problem.
Well, okay, if we take the R out, so the R can be an impediment. The R, we go re. You're singing re on the high note.
Yeah.
So if you take the R, that creates an impediment because you have to grab a consonant before you sing the top note. Now, if you say just saying E A A, if you saying E A A, E A A. Now, the reason I'm having you mix vowels is because that's what singing is.
Mm-hmm.
No, if we just went throughout a whole exercise, it's not really asking you because it's switching the gears between between different shapes in the mouth. A, o, u. We only have 5 vowels to deal with, but there's micro vowels in between the major vowels, variations of a, variations of a, ah. But when you switching back and forth fast, it prepares you for the most intense kind of singing, so that when you do easy singing, it's easy. So that's why I ask you to do combinations of vowels quickly, because that's the most you're ever going to do when you sing, is sing combinations of vowels quickly.
Yeah.
So and then of course then with consonants thrown into the soup, the alphabet soup. So just try E A A. Good. Good. Now really try to bite into the A, because the A is a consonant that you should really be able to resonate on, and it pops the sound a little bit into your head if you sing now I'm going into the passaggio. Now you know what that is, right? The passaggio. Okay, yeah. So A is a nice, because you're sort of spreading to a. Yeah. Try to stick to the literal A until you really have to switch to a. Okay, on top. So we're going to go down to go up. Yeah, go ahead. Good. Good. That should feel good. Does it feel good?
It feels like I'm being tentative, which causes me to not get in there correctly.
Yeah, so you gotta get out of you gotta make your brain get out of the way.
Yeah.
You're a thinker. You see, you can't be such a thinker.
I know. I'm working on it. It's gotten better.
Half of good singing is letting go.
Yeah.
Is releasing, just letting it fly. And you can't be afraid of what's going to happen. You see, because if you make a bad sound, there's not a firing squad that's going to come out and shoot you. You see, if you make a bad sound, you know the cuckoo's not going to come out of the clock and start hitting you. You've gotta just live with the fact that maybe 5 to 10% of some of the sounds you're going to make are going to be not so good.
Yeah.
But that's the price you got to pay for making for reducing that number. You have to make the sounds in order to get rid of them. They can't be surprises. Okay. Have you ever done that? Have you ever cracked in public?
Cracked. Yeah, I've cracked in public. I'm a very big perfectionist, so I usually will just kind of like modify and then get out of it.
I find that perfectionism has a tendency to inhibit.
Truly, it does. It does. 100%.
I mean, I have people who they get on me because of this or that. And, I say, look, I've already spent 25 years creating the voice, and I'm sitting on the foundation of all the work I did for 25 years with the voice. So I have a lot of trust that most of what I'm going to do is going to be very good, but I'm not going to sit and obsess about the remaining 10%.
Yeah.
If it happens, it happens. But I haven't cracked on stage in more than 25 years. Because I got it out in the studio. Whenever I would crack in front of my voice teacher, he'd say, "Hey, good, you cracked. Good. Get it out now. Get it out now." But part of that is speed. So, okay, so we're gonna go down to go up. That was pretty good. That was a D flat. It was over a C. The problem is, again, the sound was blocking out when I couldn't hear some of the tones that you were making. Unfortunate. So what I would recommend, so you have the ability to record this session as well, right?
Oh, do I?
You can hit record, can't you? I don't know. You have it should be a record button on there.
It said ask the host to give you permission.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Literally. It just says that the host has to give me permission.
I see. Well, whatever. So what I'm getting at is that I would record. I have hundreds of cassette tapes from the days. From the days when we used to use cassette recorders and little plastic rectangles called cassette tapes. And I have hundreds and hundreds of cassette tapes of 1 hour lessons that I had in the 90s and in the 2000s. And what I would do is after I would have a lesson, a couple days later, I would play it and I would sing with it. Yeah. So for you to do these exercises, I would edit the tape. So I would take out all this blabbing and just have the vocalises and do it the way that the teacher was having me do it. Because if you don't, then you have a tendency of getting lazy and singing things too slow or taking it easy on yourself and all that. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I want to hear the lip trills. Let's hear what that sounds in your voice when you go.
Just up?
Yeah. I couldn't hear a damn thing. It just totally blocked out.
Yeah, I'll come here and see if it'll help.
Sit down. That'll probably make it worse because it'll be closer to the microphone. Let's see. Let's test it. Go ahead. Yeah, the first one was great. I mean, I could see that you were doing it. I didn't hear half of it, but I could see that.
Yeah, I literally did it perfectly fine. It sucks. Okay.
Yeah, see that what there is that this is a very telling exercise because it really exhibits your approach. You're pursing your lips. There's tension, and you're forcing the air. It's not relaxed. It's not free and easy. So that's the part of the whole thing is trying to achieve a certain placidness, a placidity in the singing.
Yeah. Okay.
See, I'm not doing anything. I'm just letting the air come out of my mouth. I'm not doing anything with my mouth. Now, I'm not saying you can do it in 5 minutes. You can't just, we're not robots. But I mean, think about that. Try to practice the lip trill in a relaxed fashion where what I would do is think of water dribbling out of your mouth. You're not shooting it out of your mouth. You're letting it dribble out of your mouth. Yeah, it's water. The air is water. So, blah, 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 blah. I didn't do that on purpose. I usually don't need to put my fist on my face. I can just.
My teacher used to do this, and make me put my hands here and do it.
That's cheating.
Yeah, I didn't do it that often.
That's like, that's like you doing the exercise correctly, but gaining nothing from it because you cheated in order to get the lips to do what you wanted them to do, as opposed to finding the mental space that allows you to do the lip trill from a place where you're doing it. That's the point of the exercise, not to just
Yeah.
fake it. And if I do this, I can fake it. That doesn't do anything for you. So let's just try it. We're not going to go all the way. We're not going to worry about the high note right now. We're just going to worry about the lip trill.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, we're just going like this. We're going.
Oh, I'm sorry. It blocked out.
Yeah, we're just going to do.
Okay.
It's all one tone. That's the thing too. Is I think what you want to do is break it into pieces like you did the other one. You want to me he. It doesn't work that way. We got to get one long noodle.
Yeah.
Lazy, like you're gonna roll off the bed. Go ahead. The third one was better. Yeah. Good.
I pursed my lips.
Well,
Yep.
you're starting to get a few in there that are relaxed, that are fine.
Yeah.
You find it. See, it's almost like, this is like Zen, Zen. Like, it's like, I don't know if you ever did yoga.
Oh, I love yoga. I do it all the time.
Okay, well, isn't yoga about like relaxing?
Oh yeah, it literally is. And I
Yeah.
can relax when I do that.
It's just that
Other
I'm sitting here judging you and yelling at your every note. So you're scared and you're full of tension and all that.
I'm not scared.
No, I'm exaggerating. I'm just being funny. But what I'm saying is that with the same kind of relaxation, see, the funny thing with yoga, and I did yoga a long time ago, and I can't do it now because I think I'd hurt myself.
Oh
But
no.
I'm not limber enough anymore. But when you do it, I remember doing it. There's a combination of looseness, relaxation, and still firmness, because you have to be firm in order to do the positions. You have to have a strong spine, strength, but at the same time, you're not rigid, you see? And that's what's going on with this exercise. And then, of course, this exercise is about the entire way that you sing, because you have to have a good amount of relaxation along with the firmness. Okay, we're going to do we're running out of time as far as the vocalises are concerned, but we got a few in. Let's work on just a piece of music of some kind.
Okay.
So what are you working on?
I'm gonna have to not record anymore, which is sad, but
Okay.
That's like kind of just, hold on, let me look at my tracks, see what I have with me, because I have a whole thing of tracks in my phone. So do you do like just opera? Like, do you work on classical singing, or do you do like anything?
I do everything, anything. Singing is singing. Singing is all forms of singing. I mean, there's what I don't like people who bring songs that are sung by, some songs are only meant to be sung by the people who recorded them. Like a song that Mary Kay Blige sings. She sings it her way, and that's meant for her. Songs by Michael Jackson. I mean, nobody should be out there singing Thriller. It's meant to be sung by one guy. It's not a ballad. It's not a part of the American songbook. It's a guy who sang a song, and you're never going to sound like him singing it. You're never going to sound like Sting singing Every Breath You Take. Okay, so leave it alone. Don't do it. And the kids want to do it. And what do they end up doing? They end up mimicking, like parrots. They end up mimicking the singer that sings it, and they try to mimic every tiny little inflection and every little accentuation. And there's no point in that. I would rather just listen to the recording
Yeah.
than hear somebody mimicking 100% of a song trying to sound like Whitney Houston. Well, you're not Whitney Houston, kid. So
Yeah.
so sing something else, you know. Let's sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That at least teaches someone how to breathe the right way and sing the right way. So anyway, so what are you working on?
I have a song from On the 20th Century that is like my go-to song.
Okay.
And the thing is I haven't done any, like, I've just sang it. I want to know that I'm doing it technically correct and not fucking anything up. No, sorry. Not messing anything up. I apologize.
This is for a jury. You can't swear like that.
I'm so sorry.
The expletive police
living at home.
The expletive police are gonna come after you.
I'm sure I'm yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
this is a cut of the song Babette from On the 20th Century. It's like a swingy, like,
okay.
thing that goes in all the different places. So,
all right. You're playing the accompaniment for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just let me know if it's too loud.
Uh-huh.
No, that's too loud. That's too loud.
That's pretty good.
Okay. All right. So. Max, I really, really love this play. I can safely say I will slay Broadway. Make way for Babette, the darling of the Mayfair set. Depraved, debauched, and déclassé. Max, I really, really love this play. Chic and très risqué. Weary and soigné. It's Babs, the British witch, the idol of the idol rich. Degenerate, decadent. Hey, hey, hey. Max, we're sad you lit my cigarette. Max, I'll do
Okay. Wow, that was so strange because you were doing the opposite when you're singing that. You're doing the opposite that what you were doing in the vocalises. You were very lugubrious, very like spaghetti there. All the things were actually it was a little too much of a one stroke across. There should be some more. How can I put it? You were sort of vomiting it all out there without taking breaks in between for expressive segments. You see, like everything was all one long stroke of the brush. You see what I'm saying? Instead of there being I'm talking about nitty gritty here. I mean, the vocally, yes, you would be right at home on the Broadway stage, singing like that, perfectly fine. You were doing some Ethel Merman kind of wah wah wah, but stop about the Michigan rag. Everybody's doing the Michigan rag. Yeah. It's fine. It's part of the form. You know, you're young, so you could probably do that for 20 years and it wouldn't hurt your voice.
Yeah.
But going beyond vocal pedagogy. I'm not talking about the voice itself and what you were doing. I'm talking about stylistic edge of it. Okay. You're thinking too fast about it in the sense that it's all just sort of coming out and you're not giving me individual moments of expressing because you're switching around there's quite a lot of things happening in that small little bit of music, but you're sort of singing it like like you were singing the national anthem or something, where it's like we memorize the words, we know it like the back of our hand. It's like the kind of thing when you're 5 years old, they say, "Oh, Tommy, come in here and sing that little song you like to sing."
Yeah.
And he does it, and he has no idea what the hell he's singing about. He just comes in and when the earth was it and the was that. I mean, there's no cognition. You mean obviously you understand everything you're singing, but you're not relaying it in a creative enough way. Sitting down with a pencil, take a pencil with that music. Now, you actually read the music?
Yes.
Okay, you didn't just learn it by listening to it.
No.
Okay, and also, did you were listening to a particular singer sing it many times?
Yeah, I mean, when I like found it, that was how I learned it. And then when I like that was how I originally learned it. And then like my coach and my voice teacher were like, make it your own. And like I think that the thing that is making it not as like separated and like having moments is because I wasn't doing like my actions, which I usually do it with.
I
so
see.
That
See, for Broadway, that's fine. You can do all that stuff as long as it has a purpose.
Yeah.
You know, if it's just dissipating nervous energy, I'd say cut it out. But if you've actually got, you know, if you're saying something like, you know, if you're pointing in one direction because you're saying he stood over there and then he stood over there and then he walked over here and, you know, indicating things that you're singing, that's perfect. But just moving around and doing this stuff just because you need to move, that's the danger of doing it. But what I would say is, you know, I think that many singers underestimate and do not take as much into account. Bless you.
Thank you.
Sitting down with the score and a pencil and actually sitting there like you're reading a book and making marks and making decisions and making a plan for how your own plan, because a lot of this, you know, unless you're being staged by a professional director, the professional director is going to tell you what to do with your body. He's going to say, all right, in this phrase, you're going to move, you're going to look to your left, and then you're going to look to your right, and then you're going to squat, and you're going to stick your arm up in the air, or whatever. He's going to have 10 different things to tell you. I did a performance of Don Pasquale in Hawaii, and that director, he had a physical motion for me to do, like every measure. I had to remember that I had to pick up the tea kettle, then I had to put the sugar in the bottle, and then I had to turn around and I had to pick up a hat or something. You know, everything, every measure had a thing. So this kind of specificity that and let's say it's just yours, you make it up yourself because the director's not giving it to you. It's gonna mean that you're relaying that song in a fashion that you spent a lot of time thinking about it, and they're gonna realize that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the kind of piece you're gonna use to audition.
Yeah.
On Broadway, right?
Yes.
Okay. Have you done any auditions?
Yeah, mostly self-tapes. So not like in the room.
Getting up on stage, and I mean, I've done, you know, hundreds of auditions where I have to stand up in front of people and walk into a theater and get on stage and sing an aria. And I used to get nervous in the beginning. I still get a tiny little bit nervous, but now I say, well, if I mess up, that's the way it goes. So anyways, this would be the piece that you would, because usually what we do is that we pick our first piece. We choose what we want to sing first.
Yeah.
And then they choose from a list for the second thing.
Okay.
So is this the piece you'd walk in and say, this is I'm here, I'm going to sing this for you?
Yeah, basically.
This is it. Okay. So, so we have to get rid of this feeling that you're singing it by rote. That's what the main thing I get.
Okay.
To get rid of that. And the way you're going to get rid of it is by making decisions. So this is something you're not going to be able to do right now.
I mean, do you want me to try to do it full? I was just vocally focusing on it. Do you want me to like physically do it?
Yeah. I want to see what it is that you would do if you got up and did an audition on
Okay.
Broadway. Okay.
Fair. All right.
And the thing is, obviously, then you'd be dressed differently, and her hair would be done differently, and all that. So don't worry about any of that. Just do it the way you would do it if you walked into an audition on Broadway.
Okay. Max, I really, really love this play. I can safely say I will slay Broadway. Make way for Babette, the darling of the Mayfair says. Depraved, debauched, and déclassé. Max, I really, really love this play. Chic and très risqué, weary and soigné. It's Babs, the British witch, the idol of the idol rich. Degenerate, decadent. Hey, 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 Max, we're sad. You ate my cigarette. Max, I'll do bad. Yeah. That felt already a lot better too.
All right, the job starts next week. You got an 8-week contract for the show, and there's just some small things. You see, the problem with the issue with Broadway stuff is, I mean, it's a wonderful form of vocal music, because it really embraces the imperfections in the human voice, which we accept. You know, if you think about it, it's pop music and Broadway, and to a lesser extent, jazz singing, to a much lesser extent. But pop and Broadway, it's the imperfections in the voice that make the person, the singer, unique and wanting to listen to. You know, like, I don't know if you know Elaine Stritch.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ladies Who Lunch. Now, talk about an imperfect instrument. I mean, gravelly and all that. But that is what makes her voice so distinct, and we want to hear it. Why do we want to hear such a? Have you ever heard Joe Cocker? You know who that is?
No, I do not.
Joe Cocker was a British pop rock singer, and he sang. You've heard the song. You Can Leave Your Hat On. Well, you can leave your hat on. Yeah, take off your shoes, take off your knee. You know,
I know it.
Yeah, that's the way he sings, like that. And you'd think that you'd never want to hear somebody sing like that, you know, but there's something magnetic, something attractive about that. For some reason, the flaw of the voice is what makes it attractive. If you listen to Seal, he's got a rasp in his voice, a kind of a. If you listen to it, there's an imperfection. Yeah. It's the imperfection. So in Broadway, why do we accept imperfection in the voice? Because the tones are, you've got the sense of the tone. You're singing the right notes. You're not flat, you're not sharp. As long as you're not flat and you're not sharp when you're singing, we are willing to listen to this imperfection because it gives you character.
Yeah.
Now the opera is the total opposite of that. Opera is about removing every single flaw, getting rid of the rasp, getting rid of all that stuff, and having a beautiful, pure as possible, a pure tone. The only thing that corrupts the opera singing, that's impurity that we let pass, is what's called affectation, or you affect a voice. So somebody who sings opera, they don't sing "Ombra mai fo." That's a real true song, but they're "Ombra mai fo." Yeah. Somebody who sort of sings like a caricature of an opera singer, and a lot of times those kind of singers, they get hired and they get jobs because the people hiring them can't hear the difference between a fake opera singing voice and a real opera singing voice. Oh. But going back to your thing with the singing Broadway, so some of those high notes, like, you were singing those high notes, I would say if you were trying to sing opera, I'd say, oh my God, that voice, like that last high note you sing.
Mhm.
Now you're taking you're going from you're really flatting it. I mean, you're going,
Yeah.
then you finally, so you're straight toning it flat, and then you're sort of dipping up, and then you finally hit the tone, and then you start then the vibrato starts, and that's the key for all of Broadway, really, is it's straight tone into vibrato, straight tone into vibrato. And with the opera, it's vibrato into the straight tone, vibrato into the straight tone.
Yeah, that was a big thing with my teachers that actually really made them angry, because they would be like straight tone into vibrato, and I would be like vibrato straight vibrato. Like it was drilled a lot into me.
You mean Broadway? You mean the Broadway people didn't like the
Yes.
vibrato approach? Yeah. So like I'll be singing Baroque music. If I sing Handel,
Yeah.
and I'll sing a tone, and it'll be like, and I'll take the thing out of it. Like if you're singing about death and stuff like that, to straight toning with the tiniest bit of flatting is a very effective way of singing a lot of that Baroque kind of music.
Yeah.
So I mean, I give you a thumbs up on that. Yeah, I mean, it's I like the second way. I wouldn't do it any other way. I mean, if you're going to do it, do it the way you do it. Don't ever
of course.
compromise and say, well, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to sing it now. I'm not going to, I mean, if acting complete, it's sort of like a drummer that sings.
Yeah.
Don't sing for me without doing the drumming, because the drumming adds to the liveliness of the singing. You can't imagine Phil Collins singing one of his songs without doing the drumming, because obviously it's built into what he's doing as a vocalist.
Yeah.
So doing the staging or whatever staging, have you staged this song?
Yes, fully.
I mean, have you performed it?
I did, yeah. I have. This was for my showcase, so I have it on tape, like of me doing it fully on a stage. So I did literally stage the whole thing.
See, and then there's like a 3 notes there where you took some high tones, and you were singing it like opera.
Yeah.
And it was almost too good, because it exposed the fact that your voice is of a higher caliber than the rest of the song that you're singing. You see what I'm saying?
No, like I get it.
You go up and you do that. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Is she trying to trick us? Like you're singing down by singing, hey, Max, and then all of a sudden you sing this tone, and they're like, whoa, wait a minute. She's not just a Broadway singer. There's a voice. There's another voice in there. It's another layer. But what is that phrase? Is that supposed to be, you're mimicking someone, right? When you sing that up there, you're
no, I wasn't mimicking anyone. I was
no, I'm talking about the character.
What
is it? Why does the character? What are those words that the character is singing up there?
The idle rich.
Yeah, so you're making fun of the rich. You see.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So you're singing it in a more haughty, kind of aristocratic way, and so it comes across. You're singing it like opera, which would be rich, right? That's why you're doing it. So I'm saying it's a good thing.
Yeah, I understand. I'm sorry, my brain blanked.
Yeah. So it's a good thing, because somebody's listening to it and they'll say, oh, well, she was hiding this voice, but she's using it for characterization. But she obviously has good technique. It shows that you have better technique than the majority of the rest of the song that you're singing.
Yeah.
Because you're doing a character who's supposed to actually be a bit blue collar, lower class, right?
I would say like they walked into an audition that they no one would have even looked at them and been like, why they're even there in the first place.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess blue collar is kind of a term.
It reminded me, the character, if you've ever heard of the song, why do all the wrong people travel and all the right people stay at home? If you've ever heard that song before.
Is it a standard or is it like
No, it's a Stritch song
got it.
from one of
Okay.
the. I think it's Sondheim. I don't remember who composed it, but what I'm saying is that's the kind of character that comes across, the person that should have stayed at home instead of went traveling.
Yeah.
The ugly American type, you see.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, we're at 10:58, and I have to prepare for the next person. But I hope you got something out of this.
Yes, it was really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, it would be good to actually have a live lesson so that we could, I could actually hear some of these tones and I could hear your voice for real with my own ear as opposed to the electronic medium. I don't like the electronic medium.
Yeah.
So, but I'll do it. That's just the way we have to do it.
Of course.
Okay, Ava, have a good one.
You too.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.